Hey everybody, welcome back to TìandTarot, or welcome to TìandTarot. Today's reading is going to be an August predictions reading. So we're going to be looking into your love life, your career, your side hustle, and your general life. There's also an opportunity at the end of the reading to ask any 3 questions that you want to ask pertaining to the month of August. And we will also be rolling your angel dice to get any angel numbers that are relevant to this month for you as well. Today we have 3 piles for you, and this is a pick a pile reading. If you don't know how pick a pile readings work, you essentially just choose the pile you feel most intuitively drawn to. Maybe there's an object on top that you like, or maybe it's the energy of the pile or the number of the pile that you're drawn to. If you're struggling to choose, if maybe you feel drawn to all of them, more than one, then feel free to watch them all. If not, if you would like more assistance helping you pick a pile, you can go look at the timestamps in the description box and see if any of those numbers resonate with you. Sorry if you can hear a lot of licking. My sister's cat is here cleaning herself after eating, so sorry about that. So we will be finding your angel numbers with the angel dice here. If you'd like to choose your pile with objects on top, we'll be looking into those now. So for pile 1, we have this purple flower. For pile 2, we have this Pampas grass. And for pile 3, we have a lavender bunny tail. Once you have chosen your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. See ya! Hello my pile ones, welcome to your reading. You chose this flower. It is so cute. I love that it's like this cute lavender colour. So we're going to be starting off with your general life predictions, and these are the cards that you have today. So your first card is feelings, and your second card, which is your tarot card, is the 3 of Cups. There's also a message on the back of your oracle card, so we'll take a look at that now. Healing begins with feelings. Be gentle with yourself and tender with your heart. So potentially, generally, in your life, you're kind of feeling a little bit hurt about something. And that could be anything. It could be, you don't even know why you feel hurt, but you just do. It could be that something has happened to make you feel hurt. But either way, there's some sort of disappointment or potentially just some sad feelings. And the thing that kind of makes you feel better throughout August, the thing that kind of helps you to slowly heal this like hurt wound, is just spending time with your friends and your family and going out more, socializing a little bit more, having more fun. So I actually recently tried. Sorry, my sister's cat is literally aggressively cleaning her toe beans, so I'm so sorry about that. But something I recently tried is like, when you go out, a lot of the times you might go out to like run errands, or you might go out with like the intention of like shopping and getting yourself something nice. And these are all like good things that need to get done anyway, and things that can improve your mood. But I tried going out with the sole intention of just doing like activities, and I ended up having so much fun. So that could be something for you to try as well. Like, I literally just went to the beach while it was like raining and storming and watched from a safe distance as like the waves were like crashing into the shore, and like I I got on like a carousel in the rain because I was just like in my feelings and I wanted to like experience that, and it really like got my mood up because I was laughing the whole time because it was so ridiculous, because I'm getting hit in the face with rain and I'm on a carousel, and like it was just, the storm was crazy. So it just made it so much funnier, and the fact that I couldn't even get on, I was like too short to climb up, and I struggled to get down. It just all really made me laugh and like have a good time. So even just like doing that with your friends, like doing more activity based stuff rather than like calling them up and venting over the phone, or just kind of going out to make yourself feel good by like going on like a spending spree, instead of like focusing on those kind of like healing habits, maybe try just like going out and spending time with them, and not talking about the thing necessarily. So say like you always come to your friends, and if there's been a problem, like a problem at work, a problem with your family, a problem with another friend, and you're always talking to them about that, that can be draining to you because you're talking about the negatives. Even though sometimes like it is just good to vent and it's nice to get those things off your chest, it can also still just have an effect on you, even if you don't realize. So sometimes it might just be nice to meet up with them, and instead of talking about what isn't going right and what, you know, is bothering you, it's almost like you're catching up with them about them, if that makes sense. So just enjoying the moment and having fun, not necessarily talking about anything that has happened and getting things off your chest and venting and talking and gossiping about certain things. Instead, you can just kind of enjoy the moment and laugh when silly things happen, and it's just experience the joy that you get from being around them. Instead of focusing on things that have happened in the past, focus on present things that are happening with your friends right now, because I can see you having so much fun with them. And when you're having more fun with your friends and you're getting out there and you're talking to them and experiencing more and having more adventures and more good times, it's healing these feelings that you're having. And these don't feel like strong feelings, by the way. Like, it doesn't feel like anything like really, really bad. It just feels like, you know, randomly, you know, like at some point in the month you'll just randomly be like miserable. Like it's just like that, where it will kind of pass in like a day or two or three. But it's just nice to kind of get that support, and I do see you getting that support, having fun, celebrating, going out, and definitely moving past this. I definitely see you healing whatever this, you know, pain is. I see you enjoying the moment, appreciating where you're at, and I also see that you're like really grateful to be where you are. There will be a moment where you're sort of like hanging out with people and you don't even realize how fun it is, and then it kind of hits you and you're like, wow, I'm so glad I got to be here today, and I'm so glad this plan didn't interfere with it and it worked out well. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see this going. Okay, so let's take a look at your side hustle. I didn't shuffle for your side hustle, so I'm going to shuffle now. Not feeling those. This one. Okay, you have the crone. And now let's get you a tarot card pile 1. You also have the 6 of Wands in reverse along with the crone. So for your side hustle, I can definitely see that whatever it is, you've done it for a long time. Like, you're very advanced in it with the crone. This is something you're quite skilled at. You're quite knowledgeable in this thing. You've done it for a while. You've seen it all. You've seen it go well. You've seen it go bad. You've seen what, you know, how this whole thing can play out. You've seen it from start to finish. But there's a little bit of like an issue in August with you kind of feeling a lot of self-doubt because you've been doing it for so long, and you feel like there's been a lack of recognition for this thing. You don't feel like you have received the dues you were supposed to, if that makes sense. So you feel like you've put in a lot of work for very little reward. So like, your thing could be baking and you've just not received enough sales, you've not received enough popularity to kind of get your bakery off the ground. I can see a lot of self-doubt coming in, but your approach to that is kind of, because you have had all these experiences, you've seen it all, you've been there, done that. Your approach to the fact that you are feeling self-doubt and feeling like things aren't going well and feeling like potentially you deserve more, your approach to that is very nonchalant, non-caring about it, which helps you really move easily through this feeling. Because you're like, I have felt this before, I've been here before where I've doubted myself and it has turned out. So you do feel these feelings quite quickly, you move through it and you're able to pass over it and heal through that feeling. So even though you might be feeling a lot of self-doubt, just remember that you are really advanced in what it is you are doing. And so because of that, you know how to overcome these feelings and you know how to move forward and make this progress in a way that is successful for you. So let's take a look at your career now. Okay, so let's get a career card for you, pile 1. The Enchanter, Deception and Trickery. And let's get a tarot card for you, the Lovers. Ooh, okay. This is interesting. So regardless of whether you've had this job for a while or whether you've just got it, whatever job you're in or whatever career field you're in, it might not even necessarily be the job and the company that you're with. It could literally just be the actual career path you've chosen. Say if that's like being an engineer or a writer or a scientist, whatever career path you've chosen or whatever job or company you're in, whichever one this applies to, you thought initially this was something you would love, and now you feel a little bit bamboozled, a little bit deceived, because as time's going on you're not enjoying it. So I do think that this is something where you had a lot of passion for it, but now that it's been made into your job where you're sort of, it's something you have to do in order to survive, it's now sort of put a damper on things and you're no longer enjoying yourself. However, in August, this is just for August as well, but with the Lovers card, that's very much about things ebbing and flowing. So like, yes, you might fall out of love with this thing, but that's kind of the natural progression of any relationship, including your relationship with what it is that you do, and things will naturally fall back into rhythm or they won't. And at that point, you know, it's up to you what decision you want to make, but just know that like these feelings are very natural and normal and expected with any type of relationship, including your relationship with your job and your career. And so you've got to kind of wait out the storm and see whether these feelings are temporary or permanent, and then see how you feel about that and evaluate that later. But I do see in August that you're kind of feeling like this once was something you loved, but now you're not 100% sure. Either it's the company that like their values just aren't aligning with yours, or it could be the actual career where you're like, I enjoyed this, but I don't really enjoy doing it for money. So that is just like a feeling I see coming in for you. But with the enchanter, you can turn something into what you want it to be. So you can use this as like a learning opportunity, basically, on how to turn this job and this career and spin it in a way that works for you and makes it more positive as an experience for you as well. So I see you kind of thinking in August, okay, how can I make this more enjoyable for me? You feel very proactive. Like you're not just going to sit there and be like, oh, this is miserable for me. I guess I'm stuck here. You'll be proactive in trying to make this better for you and more fun for you as well. Okay, so let's take a look at your love life now. Okay, so your oracle card, we have Garnet. So we have, I am loyal to myself and others. We also have the number 2, which is very much giving love. So is Garnet, to be honest. And then we also have love, loyalty, commitment, passion, hope, root, heart, and sacral chakra. We have Aquarius, Capricorn, Leo, and Virgo. Let's get an oracle? A tarot card for you. So we have the Knight of Wands in reverse as well. Okay, so the fact that we have the Knight of Swords in reverse, plus we've got this sort of hint of loyalty here, is interesting. I feel like you, and if this doesn't resonate, please feel free to ignore this message. It could just be meant for certain individuals who are doing this reading. And if you're drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out. But I'm kind of getting the idea that you're someone who can get easily distracted when you're in a relationship. You kind of feel like there's so much opportunity around you, you kind of want to seize it. It's like the second you see a pretty face, you're drawn to it, and it distracts you and takes you away from the relationship you're in. So potentially in August, there's a question of loyalty coming in, of testing your mettle. I can see things tempting you, but there is an underlying message here of finish what you start. So like if you have started a relationship, try to give it a chance, you know, before you move on. So if you're liking how things are going and, you know, you like the person and you're getting along with them, the underlying message here is to kind of see it through, see how you feel about this person before making a like sort of irrational decision to jump ship and go for somebody else immediately. Because then you're not really giving these relationships time to develop, and then you're also kind of, in a way, almost using that person. So the underlying message here is to definitely try to stay loyal, while also putting yourself first and respecting yourself. So long as that person isn't disrespecting you or doing anything where like you don't want to be with them, and so long as your feelings are still there for them. Obviously don't date someone you don't have feelings for, but if your feelings are there for them, then this is kind of saying like follow that through. Don't just get distracted and move on, or God forbid cheat or do anything like that. Like that's the messages that are coming through here. If you are seeing someone, they could be an Aquarius, Capricorn, Leo, or Virgo. Okay, we're now on to the portion of the reading where I'm going to answer any 3 yes or no questions for you pertaining to the month of August. So, the way we do this is you can go ahead and ask your question in your head or out loud, whichever you prefer, whatever you're more comfortable with, and I will try and answer those as best I can. So go ahead and ask your first question now, and I will reveal the answer to it. Looks like yes. Okay, go ahead and ask your second question, and I will reveal the answer to it. There's 2 cards here. Depends on the day, and ask again. Well, we just had that here. So, depends on the day. For your third question, go ahead and ask it, and I will answer that now. Don't bet on it. So that's a no, pretty much. Okay, please remember that regardless of what questions you've asked and how they've been answered here, if something's disappointed you or doesn't resonate with you, or, you know, just doesn't feel like it's for you, feel free to ignore it. Like, honestly, I do. Like, if I could do a reading for myself and it's like, you're gonna win the lottery, and I'll be like, brilliant, great, thank you, I'll accept that. And then I get another reading and it's like, oh, you're gonna, like, I don't know, lose your job. And I'm like, that's not for me. And I just ignore it. Like, honestly, if you don't like something, just don't take it. Great, so now we're gonna be moving on to your angel numbers. So I'm going to try and roll the dice on camera. However, it can be really tricky, so I may have to do it off camera, but we'll see. So I had to divert it from hitting the flowers there. That is really hard. I can't tell if that's a 42 or a 57. I think it's 57, isn't it? In the camera, it looks like a 72, but trust me, it's on like 47 to 42 here. Okay. We're going for 57 because that's what I think it is. If the number 57 crops up at any point during August, then that's kind of a sign for you to take on board the messages of this reading. So, for example, if you were, I don't know, running for the number 57 bus. I don't know if there's a 57 bus, but you know what I mean? Like, things like that. Okay, so your advice with the angel number is to read a spiritual book because this can help evolve your soul. That's interesting. If spirituality is important to you, then like feel free to do that. If not, the message could just be like to read. Just read something, keep your mind busy, try and enjoy that kind of like solitude that you kind of get from reading a book, the peace, the quiet. And yeah, try and enjoy yourself. That's the message here. So if that comes up for you, that's what it's saying. Okay, Pile 1, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye! Hello, my pile 2s. Welcome to your reading. You chose this Pampas grass, which I'm going to place here. Let me move this over a little bit. Okay, so first we're going to be starting off with your general life predictions. And your tarot card is the 9 of Swords, and your oracle card is the Sovereign. So let's check out what your oracle card says. So you are the queen of your life. Treat yourself like royalty. Okay. This is kind of, the 9 of Swords with the Sovereign is kind of giving me like Princess and the Pea energy. So that's the story, if anyone doesn't know, of like a princess with a pea under their mattress, and they couldn't sleep because they were so uncomfortable, so they kept getting people to put more and more mattresses on top of their mattress until they were like 30 mattresses high and they could still feel it. And in the end, they found the pee and fixed the problem. So there's kind of this problem that is bothering you, as you can see with this like little dagger here pointing down. There's a problem and it's not going to go away until it's addressed. Like there's all these other problems just building up behind it because this problem's not being addressed. And this problem is essentially the way that you treat yourself. That's what it boils down to. So you will be feeling in August potentially like a lot of negative emotions. You're potentially struggling with a lot of anxiety and stress, like very worried, very concerned. Maybe you don't even know where that worry and stress is coming from. But ultimately, what will make you feel 1,000 times better is genuinely treating yourself with the patience and kindness that you deserve, building up your self-esteem, building up your image of yourself, your image of your self-worth. So that includes like, ensuring you get enough rest, ensuring you're drinking enough water and taking care of yourself and eating properly, making sure, that you're continuing to follow like a really good hygiene routine, making sure that you're like taking time to shower or bathe, whichever you prefer, making sure that you have like a little skincare or beauty routine just to make you feel good and bring your mood up. Make sure you're investing in exercise, because honestly that can make you feel so much better, like emotionally, not even just physically, but emotionally. That can really work for you. And also try and get out there and be social. If you've got no one to kind of be social with and go out and socialize with, who says you need somebody? Go do it by yourself, go have fun. Trust me, it will definitely help reduce that anxiety and that stress if you invest in yourself. So in August, in your general life, the overall message is to definitely invest in you. Focus on yourself. Treat yourself like the queen that you are. And when I say queen, that's not gender specific, it's more of an energy. So yeah, take that as that resonates. So, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, be patient. Understand that, in order to work through all of these feelings of this anxiety, this stress that's building up, you have to start being kind to yourself and putting yourself first. Okay, so let's look at your side hustle. I've not shuffled. Okay. So your side hustle had a few messages then. I was supposed to only pull one, but here we are. And your side hustle tarot card. Oh, that's cute. I also felt that one. Why did you get a few? That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, so we have a few cards here. So you have the Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups as well. Lovely, lovely energy. And let's take a look at your oracles. So we have the Seed, we have the Stone, we have the Mirror, we have the Prayer. Let me try and shift those up a little bit. So I'm getting a few things, and it kind of runs a little bit deeper than your side hustle, but I feel like you want to start a side hustle with friends. You want to, either it's like a podcast with your friends or something like that, something where you would need them for it, right? Or potentially you want to do that with friends but you don't currently have friends. It might be something like that, but either way, you want to start a side hustle with them in August. And your friends are very reliable, they are trustworthy, they're people to depend on. They will be there for you to pick you up, they will be there to support you. They might not want to start this side hustle with you, that's up to them, but they will still be here to support you, as you go about your day, do your things. However, you have like a lot of self-doubt. It's kind of like the Devil card, like you're kind of chained to a lie that doesn't exist and it's holding you back. So you kind of feel very lonely. Even though you're around friends who can support you and will be there for you, you feel very alone. And not necessarily in a bad way, like you definitely have, with this whale here, being alone, like you would still be incredibly strong. You can still get stuff done. You can still do your side hustle all on your own. You've got the power and ability to do that. But there's a lot of emphasis on your feelings because you're like hoping and wishing for this, but you feel like this. Whether you do or don't have that, you will eventually have this, if that makes sense. You will have a group where you feel supported and like you can depend on them and like they're reliable and they're here to support you. You might already have that, but for some of you, you might not have that yet. But I feel like you're kind of being lied to by feeling like you're alone and you have no one to sort of depend on, because I feel like it's like your anxiety playing tricks on you. Like, oh, like I feel like your anxiety might be telling, like, it's just that anxiousness of thinking like maybe they don't want you there or maybe they're not your true friends. That's definitely not the case. If you just trusted yourself more and trusted your friends more, you might actually see that the things that you want start to manifest and come true. However, if you do want to work on a brand new side hustle, regardless of whether they want to or not, because some people just aren't interested in doing side hustles, like that's fine. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Other people are really into side hustles. So if some, your friends might not want to do it with you, even if you want them to do it, but they'll still be there to support you. You know what I mean? Your prayers are still being answered because they'll support you behind the scenes as you work on it yourself and you start this thing. So I definitely see you starting a side hustle, and thinking about starting one and maybe approaching people to start one in August. But there's also this kind of tie with your side hustle with like your emotions as well. Like I can see that there's something important about your side hustle and your friendships and your feelings. Potentially your side hustle could be very successful with your friends. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. Okay. So let's take a look at your career. Okay, we have the Lovers again. Okay, for pile 1 we also had the Lovers. Okay, so we have the Lovers and we also have the Tailor, attention to detail and pride. In August, you're going to be absolutely loving what you're doing. Properly loving it. Like, you put a lot of care, dedication and soul into everything you do. So I can definitely see you, like, no matter what job you have and what career you're in, I can see that you're a very dedicated person. So you always put in a lot of effort. You always, put the work in. I'm seeing you, like, enjoying what you're doing, taking pride in it. Like, you're happy about where you're at. You're happy with what you're doing. And I do feel like because you're taking time to pay attention to the details, this is a job where you feel very comfortable, especially with the pace. Like, you're not getting pushed to your limit. You're not getting, like, overworked or told to, like, stay late and, do overtime. This is a job where you feel like you can really be you and you can take your time to make things perfect, because you're not in a kind of job where they just want you to half-ass it and rush through it. You're in a job where people appreciate the quality of the work, regardless of how long that takes. So this is definitely something you're enjoying. I think you start to really appreciate the place you're in August. It could be a different place to where you're at now, depending on when you watch this video, or you could be in this job or this career already, but you're very much enjoying it, and that's a really positive thing. So that's how you're feeling in August. So let's take a look at your love life. Oh, that card just kind of like slipped out at me. So we have the Hanged Man, Amethyst. Infinite possibilities are available to me. We have the number 3. We have protection, purification, spirituality. We have Crown and Third Eye. We have Virgo, Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius. So I feel like you are single. That's what I'm kind of getting from this pile. I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm right. But I feel like for some of you, you'll probably be single in August and you're kind of feeling like paralyzed by indecision, if that makes sense. So I feel like there's so many opportunities for you to meet somebody. So just for the simple fact that there are just so many people around you or so many people in the world, you could message anybody, you could reach out to anybody. Possibilities literally are endless nowadays. It makes you kind of feel stuck. You're almost like you don't really know what to do. You don't know who to go for. You don't know if you even want to date. So you're kind of just hanging there and waiting until your perspective shifts, until you can sort of see if dating is what you want and who you want to go for if you do want to date. So I can see you kind of just chilling in August, see you being very mellow, weighing out your options, evaluating what the possibilities that are available to you are, what they are, and sort of seeing how you feel about love and relationships and things like that. I see you like just kind of hanging in there, enjoying your time as a single person, potentially as a newly single person. I can also see for some of you potentially in the future you might be interested in more like open relationships rather than like monogamy. But that was just a side interpretation of these cards from my point of view. When you do meet someone, they could be a Virgo, Pisces, Capricorn, or Aquarius. So let's move on to the second part of your reading today, where I am going to answer any 3 questions you have pertaining to the month of August. So if you don't know how this works, essentially I'm going to pull cards to answer your questions. They have to be yes or no questions pertaining to the month of August. You can ask them in your head or out loud, whichever you prefer, whatever you're more comfortable with, and I will try my best to answer those for you. So go ahead and ask your first question now. Weather permitting. So that essentially means so long as all your ducks are in a row, everything's in order, so long as, everything's perfect and aligned as it should be, then that will be a yes. But if not, then, it might not be. So your answer is in the cards for your second question. This is your answer. You also have outlook doesn't look good. Okay, now let's get an answer to your third and final question. Oh. So I couldn't tell what came out, but I think these 2 came out. So you have of course, yeah, and under that you also had signs point to yes. So that's a yes for that question. So I just want to preface by just saying, like, regardless of the answers that have come out here, if you're not happy with anything, if it didn't vibe with you, or if it disappointed you in any kind of way, you do not have to accept these answers. Please don't take them. I don't take them. Like, honestly, if I get a bad one, I'm like, that clearly wasn't meant for me, even though I'm like giving myself a reading and I'm the only one there. So like, if something doesn't feel like it's for you, don't take it, and don't take it seriously. Like, only take what resonates, only take what you want to hear, Okay. And now we're going to be looking into your angel number. I'm going to try and roll this on the table. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. I might have to stop it from touching these, but don't worry, it will still be an accurate roll. Okay, so you have 82. For 82, as an angel number, this is kind of telling you the world is kind of your oyster. Learn from it as much as you can. So for me, if you see the number 82, so maybe you're like running for the 82 bus or something like that, whenever this number comes up in your life during August, this is basically telling you to treat the world like it's your oyster. When you see this number, it's telling you there's a learning curve here. There's something you can learn from and take in that wisdom. I especially feel that around your love life for some reason. I'm feeling like there are lessons to be learned. That's why you're kind of in the hanged man state, because you're learning, you're taking things in, you're shifting your perspective. Okay, pile 2, so that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading all about your August predictions. You chose this little lavender bunny tail, which I'm going to try and put here. Hopefully it will stay. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards. So for your tarot card, we have the King of Crystals in reverse. And for your oracle card, we have Mind. Okay. And on the back of your oracle card, we have you are the master of your inner world, and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. I feel like that's true, but also like sometimes it's just hard, people are annoying. The world can definitely impact you, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I think this is kind of same for your general life. In August, you're going to be working on blocking out those negative opinions, the negative things going on in your life, and you're going to be able to kind of create your own little sanctuary in your own mind and in your kind of inner world, in your kind of home, in your solitude. You'll find a lot of peace. And I think as well with the King of Crystals, you've definitely got that energy to be that person, to sort of shoulder the storm, take the heat, especially with this little lizard here. Like, you'll be able to handle the negativity of the world and move through it and keep your peace and keep things at a distance from you as well. I see you being able to be really headstrong. If anyone challenges you in, you know, a negative way, you're able to handle those situations with grace, with intelligence. You know, if anyone tries to sort of essentially kind of like pick on you in your general life in August, I see that you're kind of tackling these issues really quickly. You're tackling these arguments or these conflicts really quickly and easily and coming out on top of that because you're keeping your peace, keeping up with your self-care routine. I definitely see a lot of positivity for you in August. It may not sound that way because I've talked a lot about all this like negativity sort of raining down on you, but it's positive because you're unaffected by it, because you are such a, you know, inner peace kind of person, because you're able to find your peace and your bliss. It actually is a really good month for you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you there in your general life, pile 3. So let's take a look at your side hustle. So, ooh, we have the tear. Okay. We also have the 7 of coins, pentagrams, whichever you like to call them, in reverse. This is really interesting. So I feel like you've already started a side hustle, you're in it, you're doing it, but you're feeling a little bit let down, like it's not going how you want it to go, it's not as successful as you wanted it to be. But then with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse here, it's very much implying that is because you're kind of wasting your potential. So you're limiting your own success by not prioritizing this side hustle. You've not invested enough time or effort into it, essentially. There's something about it that you're missing that you've not actually put enough work into that is limiting your success. So it definitely could be a successful side hustle. It's just that you're not putting the right work into it. You're not putting enough time into it. You're not prioritizing it enough. So I think in August, you're going to be feeling a little bit down about that side hustle, but you'll start to realize like, oh, you know what, on the weekend when I'm sort of doing nothing, I could actually be focusing on this. Like you start to realize there are areas in your life where you potentially could actually do it more. And so that's kind of helping you have a more positive outlook on things. And then it's also helping you to progress. So that success starts to happen, and it starts happening more quickly when you realize that you do need to put more effort into it and prioritize it where you can. Obviously, don't let it take precedence over anything that, you know, it shouldn't. So for example, if you've got a job that you're focusing on that brings in money and your side hustle doesn't bring in money at the minute, obviously your job comes first. But like after that, you know, secondary to that, you can then focus on your side hustle if that's what you want, if that's what you have time for. You know, if you've got like family duties that you have to abide by, like stick to that, definitely. Like if you've got, I don't know, dinner with your parents on Sunday or something, like roast dinner or whatever, definitely still attend that. Like don't scrap that off and be like, sorry, I'm working on my side hustle. Like work on your side hustle during the day and then go attend that family dinner, you know. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you in August. So now we're going to be taking a look at your career pile 3. So, I've shuffled these in a very messy way. So we have the captain taking command and teamwork as well. Now let's also get you a tarot card. So far every pile has had a lover's card. I don't know what's going to happen to your pile. Okay. Ooh, we've got the tower in reverse. Ooh, this is such an interesting combo. Okay, good. This is interesting. So I'm getting 2 different things for your career. So for some of you, this message might resonate. For others of you, my second message might resonate. But for some of you, I think like you might be very high up in what you do. Like you could be the manager of a team and you might be a little bit headstrong. And that is for a reason. Like you might be the one to, you know, you like to make final decisions, you like to be very firm in what it is you think everybody should be doing and how they should be doing it. But the reason you do that is to make sure you don't have a mismanaged team. You've had a past where like people have just been so undermanaged, so bad at prioritizing their work that they ended up sort of letting everybody down, letting the team down, and so you don't want that to happen again. So even though this is an effective way of getting work done, you're kind of shutting out the good parts of the job, which can be, you know, those friendships and connections with people. and, you know, hearing their side of things, how they want things to go, and sort of listening to them. So you're kind of cutting them out in that sense. So a message for August is to kind of listen to your teams, make sure that even, you know, even though, yes, you are the one in charge, you can be the commander, people might have really great opinions that you're shutting out by sort of being the dictator. So try and be open to what they're saying. For others of you, secondary message separate to the first one. You may have found yourself in a job or career that you never really intended to be in, but because it pays well and it's good for you, you kind of knuckled down and you stuck to it because you're like, well, this works for me. And if that works for you, great. But some of you might be craving a job where it's something you love, but you're really worried about starting over and starting new in a new career. You know, what's the harm in testing the waters? Keep the good job that you have, but maybe study for the one that you want in your spare time. Maybe it requires you to have a certain degree to get into the job that you're interested in terms of that starting over that you're afraid of. Why not take, like, you know, late night courses and things in the thing that you're interested in while also going to your job during the day? Like, at the end of the day, it's what you can manage and what you want to do ultimately, but there is just a message of kind of settling here. And obviously, if it works for you, it works for you, but for those of you who don't want to settle and you do want the thing that's going to make you happy, why not, you know, try and go educate yourself further, go do some online courses, treat the world like it's your oyster, learn more from it, you know what I mean? You've only got one life, so live it how you want to live it. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Okay, let's take a look at your love life. You have Sodalite. Oh, I love that one. So you've got the number 4. I am guided by logic and intuition. You also have intuition, focuses energy, guidance, throat and third eye, and Sagittarius. You also have the 10 of Swords here. Don't panic, but in August in your love life, I do see you facing some rejection. Don't worry about it, okay? Because the worst has happened. Once someone has rejected you, you know, it's horrendous, but that is as bad as it gets, okay? Get yourself up and walk it off, you'll be fine. Just remember to stay really logical and focus your energy. Like, try not to feel emotional about it. Like, at the end of the day, it's actually not personal. It can really genuinely be more about them than it is about you, more about, like, how they're feeling in the moment. Like, people sometimes reject people not even because of that person. They're not even rejecting that person. They're rejecting you because they themselves don't want to date at that time, or they're not interested in it, or they feel so insecure in that moment that they don't want to say yes. Like, there are so many reasons to why someone rejects you. That's not to say keep trying. Definitely, if someone's rejected you, you've now moved the ball into their court to ask you out in the future if they ever want to. So once you've asked once, just walk it off. Leave it alone. There were so many positives to this. You were brave. You used your throat chakra. You went up to them, asked them out. That is so powerful and brave of you. You know, you are using your energy in the right place by not taking it personally, not taking it out of them. You're walking away, you're remaining logical and intuitive to how you're feeling. So you kind of feel like this cat kind of stuck up here, embarrassed. Everyone's looking at you. You got yourself into a sticky situation, but genuinely there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Just try and, like, climb off of this and hop down, because, you know, the worst has happened. You now know what that feels like. You've experienced it, and you know moving forward how to handle it even better if you know you need to, and you now know how to ask someone out, and you have that confidence to do it as well. So don't get, like, upset about it. It happens to everybody. You're not the only one. So if you're embarrassed, don't be. It's just how it is, you know. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the second from last part of the reading, which is where I'm basically going to answer any 3 of your yes or no questions pertaining to the month of August. And depending on how comfortable you are, you can ask these questions out loud or in your head, whichever you prefer. And I will try my best to answer those. So I'm answering question 1 for you now. So go ahead and ask it. You got 2 cards. So you have no, and then you also have it is guaranteed. That's very wishy-washy. So it could be a yes, could be a no. It very much depends on the situation and how things turn out. I'm answering question 2 now. Okay, so I've got to ask again because it said, huh? It is conceivable. So yes, there's a possibility here. Okay. And you also have a yes for your third question. So, regardless of what answers have come out here, please remember, only take what resonates. You know, if you're upset by anything or disappointed by any of the answers you have here, feel free to ignore it, okay? Like, honestly, if you don't like it, don't take it. Like, if I get tarot readings where it's like, oh girl, you're gonna come into so much money, I'm like, yeah, you know it, and I take it, you know. But then if it's like, oh, you know, you're not gonna get that opportunity you thought you were gonna get, I'm like, this wasn't meant for me, and I just like, I ignore it, you know. So only take what resonates, and if something doesn't feel like it's for you or disappoints you, just ignore it, because that's what I do. So yeah, do what works for you. Okay, and now for our final part of the reading, I'm going to try and get you an angel number. I'm going to roll it. If it rolls into the flowers, I'm going to block it, but don't worry, wherever it rolls, I'm still going to take that as your answer. I've not intercepted anything. So let's try. Ooh, I didn't have to tap it. Okay, so we got 56. It's landed on the like purpley orange part as well. Wow, this is really interesting. So 56 is all about asking for what you want and the universe will deliver it. The universe, your angels, your spirit guides, if you need their help during August and you really want something, just ask for it. And this is implying that they will be able to help you with that. They'll help that dream to like manifest for you, basically. So if you're ever needing them, just kind of think of the number 56. Or if, let's say, like, you're going about your day-to-day and you see the number 56, like you're running for the number 56 bus or something like that, this is kind of saying, you know, they're here, they're helping you, they're supporting you. So go for what you want, trust your gut, trust your instincts, they're going to support you. So that was your reading, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Friday for another reading on Tea and Tarot. Bye!